How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.
There are lots of suggestions I see from Hanish, I see from Karthik, that CSK are in a way better served with Dhoni as captain, which is the point Wasim Jafar had made earlier on this couch as well, that for as long as he chooses to play, it is in CSK's best interest to have Dhoni as captain. Sanjay?
Well, I mean, he was still making a lot of calls on the field of play. It wasn't that, he had totally relinquished the decision making to Ruturaj. But with Dhoni, he would go to his tested methods. So you would hardly find a step which is taken in the wrong direction, wherein at times you just felt that if you cast your mind back why Ravichandran Ashwin was bowled the second over against RCB, that will not happen. So some of those things will not happen when MS is at the helm, because he will make sure that the first 6 overs are literally bowled by pacers, and he would look to control the middle overs as he does in his masterly fashion with spin.
Do you expect that to bring about a turnaround in the bowling fortunes of Jadeja and Ashwin?
Well, bowlers have to bowl well eventually. Captain can only help from behind the stumps, but it will make a huge difference, because if he's there and then he's talking about taking care of the fielding positions and everything, so it should make a difference, to be very honest.
Jadeja has always thrived under Dhoni's leadership.
But it's a big blow for CSK batting wise. I mean, Ruturaj was their best batter, so that's also, something that they're really going to miss. As far as, Sanjay and Piyush are in a better position to talk about how players, their performance changes based on a captain. It didn't ever change my cricket, Whoever was captain, I was equally bad. So.
I'll just point out that Ravindra Jadeja, I believe if you look at his numbers, the 3 seasons where CSK have not qualified for the playoffs, 2020, 22 and 24, 2 of which were with Dhoni not as captain, at least for a large part of it. In those, he's averaged 45. In all the other seasons, he's never averaged more than 30. The other common factor is Dhoni has been captain.
Clearly, makes the best use of him, but it's not necessarily that Dhoni is not guiding him to bowl the pace or to bowl the lines when he's not the captain. So clearly, it could also be a fact that maybe the impact sub has also adversely impacted Jadeja's return to an extent.
The other point of interest will be how Dhoni, the captain, uses Dhoni, the batter.
We'll see. If you see the last game when he walked into bat against Punjab, he faced 12 balls, he scored 20, he batted in the same manner. And if you see, like in last 5-6 years when he was the captain also, he never came in like with 8 overs to go or some 10 overs. He always liked to bat it at like with 5 overs to go and 6 overs to go. That's what you'll see here again. It's just that the middle order is not doing really well, and they are leaving too many runs to, or maybe the run rate is always above 13, 14 when he walks into bat. So it makes life difficult for any batter for that matter.
In any case, Yash, I highly doubt anyone else was deciding Dhoni's entry point. So I don't think that's changing necessarily.
Even in the previous match, I think when we were watching the visuals, it seemed that Fleming went to him at the end of the 15th over, and at that point he said, "No, let Jadeja go." But then when it went past the 16 over mark, he walked out.
All right. There's an interesting observation from Farman Sheikh. CSK have always been pragmatic in the auction. They always prefer players whose abilities are well known and then trust them and give them roles. Has it backfired this season? And while I pose that question, I'll also ask about the other bit, which has stood out so far. Not to say that it's only Gaikwad's doing or only one person's doing, but so much chopping and changing that happened. Do you expect him to find a combination for this first game and then stick to it for a few matches?
Well, last game I felt that they found kind of their best playing 11 or 12, I would say. But now Ritu is missing, the guy who has got 250s in last 5 innings. So now they have to find an option for him. It's difficult to replace him as a batter, but what all options do you have? So I feel the Tripathi is the best fit in there.
Yeah.
Will this end up in a way being CSK's optimum utilization of Dhoni, the resource?
It all boils down to how the top order bats, because as much as you try and figure or discuss about their spin, their pacers, the bowling still has done the job. The catching has let them down on a couple of occasions. Big moments they've lost because of the catching, and overall batting hasn't really, fired as a unit. So they would hope that the season turns around, and even somebody like a Shivam Dubey strikes it big at some point, because he's going to be the point of difference if CSK has to move further up in the tournament.
Okay. Who wants to play Oracle? Look into the future. 1 win in 5. MS Dhoni steps
Let's
in.
call Raido, he's outside.
Let's start with you. Will it turn around?
Not based on the current performance. I mean, they may do slightly better, but it's going to be hard for them to make the playoffs, I think.
Sanjay.
Are you speaking of this match or the tournament?
Both.
Well, let me put it this way. KKR on paper is a superior team. They're playing good cricket. Even last match they lost very narrowly. So I would say KKR slightly ahead, but yeah, CSK could challenge for the 4th spot. Could challenge for the 4th spot at the end of the season. Why not?
These could be famous words a month from now. Sanjay Bangar will be going viral on the internet. He called it. Piyush Chawla, are you daring to call it too?
Well, to be very honest, it's not about there's no doubt that team has done really well in the past, but at the current form, if you go, it looks very difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible, because we have seen things change for the teams. Like there are a lot of teams. Even I was the part of one of the team in 2014 where we were like 2 wins in some 8 games, and from there we won the. So it's not impossible, but the brand of cricket they are playing at the moment, it's little tough.